Buenos dias, bonjour, o genki desu ka? Ni hao ma? Guten Tag, God morgen, dobre utro. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to attempt through my memory and my thought to invoke the meaning of a certain story that I heard from Sadhguru. This story I heard probably like a year ago, but somehow it's on my mind right now to share with you, my most honorable, esteemed viewer, to share this story. And I'm relying on my memory and my thought, so invoking the two ravens of Odin, Yunjin and Munjin, these aspects of memory and thought of the mind, the mental strata of our consciousness. And the story involved, and I believe it was the setting of this story was in the Middle East. It was somewhere in the Levant, that area of the Holy Land. But it was during the times of when the Library of Alexandria existed. And if you know anything about that part of Upper Egypt, when the Library of Alexandria existed, it was very Catholic in the truest sense of what Catholic means. Catholic means universal, but it was very cosmopolitan, but it was a very open and embracing repository of knowledge, this huge library of Alexandria, filled with the writings, the scrolls, the learnings of every conceivable tradition, culture, holy man. Everything was there, and all these people blended, all these different paths converged, and it was a true university in the sense that it was universal in its sharing of learning. And anyway, there was one particular individual who was very well renowned for his enlightenment, learning, and I think he had some kind of a commerce where he would write little books and sell. And anyway, but I think the story kind of goes that this particular holy person or enlightened person was more accessible. A lot of people could come up and interact with him. And one of the people that came and interacted with him was this king, like some type of very important person in the 3D world of I was going to say digital matrix, but at that time and when the world existed, I don't think there was a digital grid, electronic network of frequencies. But anyway, but someone who was very important in the world of Caesar at the time, And so let's say perhaps it was a big Roman official, I don't know, but they wanted enlightenment, and they came to this particular holy person, and they met this enlightened guy, and he was writing, his scrolls and doing his thing, and this, let's say it's a king that came to seek enlightenment from this holy person and was, asking him to write him something that would teach him enlightenment, write him something personal. He's a very important person. I'm this king, so can you write me something, instructions that'll teach me enlightenment, that I can become enlightened? And so the story goes that this holy person, the enlightened one, looked at this king and handed him a bowl, in place of the scroll, a bowl, and said, "Here, take this out to the corner there, and for your sustenance for today, beg for your food." Well, that threw this king, into a state of disarray, and was, just confused and upset, and, and just, it was lost on him, though, that what this holy man, what this enlightened person was communicating to him was that he would never get his enlightenment through writings on a scroll. It had to be his experience, and it had to be his own inner transcendence of his ego, essentially. But this king couldn't possibly even conceive of him taking a bowl and going to beg. But how many of us, among you, among myself included, how many among us are letting our egos keep us from final integration of our human with our divine? How much is keeping you from that total metamorphosis? You know, I mean, your whole body can be free. You can be free, totally free. You know, your whole body is totally free. You can be vagabonding across the United States, totally free. You know, but one little thing can be holding you back. It's your pinky. If it's stuck in some kind of, you know, area that's keeping you trapped, your little pinky can keep you from that total freedom, total transcendence. One thing, and it can be your ego. I mean, you don't need to desire anything. Everything, when you realize what energy, what it means, what energy actually is, and how it's related to your consciousness and your thoughts, you do not need to desire anything, because everything belongs to you. I mean, everything you see, you can have. It is all yours. Everything is yours. You don't need to necessarily haunt little tiny, small YouTube spiritual channels, you know, these little spiritual channels that amuse you and your ego, so you can dispense your higher learning and, you know, and throw your ego weight around. Well, that's what's holding you back. Tell me now that which is not yours. The mind is your servant. The ego is your maidservant. Think about that. The body is your footmat. What else do you need? You can give commands. Come on, mind, do this. Call to the ego. She is your maidservant. She will do everything that you need. You have to give commands. You have to be king. Don't enslave yourself to the mind, to the ego, to the senses for that matter. You have to command them, and everything will be done. Otherwise, you become a slave. Be a slave means that with any desire that you have, you become a slave to it. You enslave yourself to anything that you need or desire, to petty things, you become a beggar. You choose if you are a king. You must behave like king. If you are a beggar, take a begging bowl and beg. Any desire that arises in your mind makes you a beggar. So, my dear, esteemed, and most noble and honorable viewer, who are you now, a king or a beggar? Sit on your throne. Hit that subscribe button. Leave a thumbs up to this video. Say hello to my pet canine, Pepito. He wanted to be along for this video transmission from the Umbanda New Earth Ashram for Compassion and Strength. Leave a comment, say hello to Pepito.
Namaste, namaskaram.